everyone, myself Bhautik Trivedi, working as an assistant professor in IT ICT department of LG Institute of Engineering and Technology. I will explain you the concept of OSI and TCP IP model. So first of all, what do you mean by OSI and what do you mean by TCP IP? So full form of OSI, that is the Open System Interconnection, and TCP IP means Transmission Control Protocol Internet Protocol Model. So let's start with the concept of OSI and TCP IP model. But before that, one important term in a network or security, that is known as a connection oriented environment and connection less environment. So let's start with the first of all the difference between the connection oriented environment and connection less environment. So here you just see connection oriented versus connection less. So what is the difference between that? So first of all, according to the different characteristics, first one, how the data are sent. So whenever you talk about the connection less and connection oriented, so in a connection less, one packet at a time. But whenever you talk about the connection oriented, so continuous stream of packets, that is the difference number one. Second one, whatever the packets that follow the same route, whenever you talk about the connection less, so at that time answer no. But whenever you talk about the connection oriented, so for this one important technical word here, and that is known as a concept of virtual circuit. So whenever using the concept of virtual circuit, so at that time answer is equal to yes. But without virtual circuit, the answer is equal to no. So up to this mainly 2 points. One, that is the how the data are sent in a connection oriented or connection less environment. Second one, do the packets follow the same route? So for this, using the concept of virtual circuit in a connection oriented environment. Third one, are resources reserved in a network? So in a connection less, answer no. But in connection oriented, using the concept of virtual circuit, so answer yes. Without virtual circuit, answer no. Difference number 4, are resource reserved in a communicating host? In connection less, that's answer no. But in connection oriented, answer yes. Fifth one, is connection establishment done? In connection less, no. But connection oriented, answer yes. Is state information stored in a network nodes, different nodes? In connection less, answer no. But in connection oriented, using the concept of virtual circuit, answer yes. Without virtual circuit, answer no. Next difference, what is the impact of node or switch in this? So in connectionless environment, only packet and nodes are lost. But in case of the virtual circuit, so for this, in a connection oriented environment, at virtual circuit of the node are failed. And the last and most important thing, what kind of addressing information is needed on each packet? So here source and destination address is required, but in case of connection oriented environment, virtual circuit number, that is the most important thing, because here using the concept of virtual circuit. So this is the normal introduction, normal difference between the connection oriented and connection less environment. After that, let's start with the two important models of this. One, that is the OSI, and second one, that is the TCP IP. TCP IP reference model is also known as Internet Protocol Stack Layers. That is also known as Internet Protocol Stack Layers. So let's start with this. First of all, OSI. So first of all, what do you mean by OSI? OSI is nothing but, that is known as an Open System Interconnection Reference Model. With using this, you can directly provide the connecting open system. What is the meaning of open system? The system that are open for communication with other system. That is known as a open system. So for this OSI model, generally require the different layers. Which particular layers? So total 7 layers from bottom to top. Total 7 layers in a OSI model from bottom to top. First one, here you just see bottom layer. First one, that is the physical layer. Second one, that is the data link layer. Third one, that is the network layer. Fourth one, that is the transport layer. Fifth one, that is the session layer. Sixth one, that is the presentation layer. Seventh one, that is the application layer. So bottom layer, that is the physical layer. Top layer, that is the application layer. So total 7 layers, that's the part of the OSI model. Either that's the part of the network or part of the network security. The most important points for the network as well as the security, that is the OSI model. So let's start with, this is the diagram. That's a normal diagram. You just see the top layer, that is the application, then after the presentation, then after the session, then after the transport, then after the network, then after the data link, and last one, that is the physical. So that is from the bottom to top, so physical to application. So same way as the sender side, same way as the receiver side. In between, must remember one thing. The most important thing in this particular diagram, in physical layer, how provide the communication. So in a physical layer, whatever the communication, that is in a form of the bits. Data link, that is in a form of the frame. Network, that is in a form of the packet. Transport, that is in a form of the TPDU. Session, that is in a form of the SPDU. Presentation, that is in a form of the PDPU. And the last one, that is the application, that is the APDU. So this is the concept of the OSI layer architecture. So that's the diagram, that's the OSI model diagram. At least you know each and every layer functionality. So let's start with this first one, bottom to top. So first one, that is known as a physical layer. So why we use the physical layer in OSI model? What's the logic behind that? So first one, physical layer generally supported the 3 functionality. First one, that is known as a data encoding. Second one, that is the transmission technique. And third one, that is the physical medium transmission. So these 3 points that supported some concept. Which particular concept? So here you just see, because all of you know, whenever you providing a digital signal pattern, that's the combination of 1 and 0 that is used by the PC for providing a better communication or providing a better characteristics of the physical medium. So in this, mainly 2 important concepts. One, that is the bit synchronization, and second one, that is the frame synchronization. After the transmission technique, either whatever the encoded bits will be transmitted by the digital or analog signaling, that is the part of transmission technique. And third one, that is the physical medium transmission. So physical medium transmission means transmitting a bits as an electrical or optical bit signal that is appropriate for the particular physical medium. So mainly 3 important points. One regarding the encoding point of view, one regarding the transmission point of view, and third one, that is regarding the physical medium transmission. So that's a normal introduction of the physical layer. Next one, that is the data link. Why we use the data link layer? Data link layer generally supported 3 functionality. One, that is used for the link establishment. Second one, that is used for the link termination. After that providing the frame control. But here, whatever the communication, that is in a form of the traffic. So that is also known as frame traffic control. And another one, that is the frame sequencing. What is the meaning of link establishment and termination? So establish and terminates the logical link between the nodes, that is known as a link establishment and termination. Frame traffic control. So frame traffic control, it directly trails the transmitting node to backup, or backup means stop when no frame buffers are available. And the last one, that is the frame sequencing, that is generally used for the transmitting or receiving the frame sequentially. So this is about the data link layer for the OSI model. Layer number 3, But before that, another three important characteristics of the data link layer. One, that is the frame acknowledgement. One, that is the frame delimiting, frame error checking, and media access management. So what is the meaning of frame acknowledgement? So frame acknowledgement means either detecting and recover from the errors. How? That is in a form of the acknowledgement point of view. Frame delimiting means what? It directly creating and recognize the frame boundary. That is known as a frame delimiting. Frame error checking means it directly checking and detecting and recovering the frame. But with using the, generally it check the receiving frame for the integrity, means whatever the data sent by the sender, the receiver directly capture the particular frame, or in between any modification is there. So that is with using the concept of this. And media access management, it determines when the node has the right to use the physical medium. So that is the characteristics of the data link layer. Third one, network layer. Up to these two layer over. One, that is the physical. Second one, that is the data link. Layer number 3, that is the network layer. What's the functionality of the network layer? First one, that is the routing. What is the meaning of routing? All of you know. Among the network, you can directly route the different frame. Second one, generally using the concept of subnetting. And third one, that is generally used with the fragmentation. Subnetting means what? So you can directly creating different parts of the network. And fragmentation means what? You can directly determine the particular maximum transmission unit for a particular frame. So the router's maximum transmission unit is less than a particular frame size. A router can directly fragment a frame for transmitting end-to-end delivery. So that's why using the concept of the fragmentation. The size, that is the most important part of this particular concept. After that, another two important thing for the network layer, logical physical address mapping. So that is generally used with the logical address or name into physical addresses, and using the concept of the subnet. So it directly storing the accounting function to keep track of frames forwarded by subnet to intermediate system to produce the billing information. So that is about the concept of the network layer. After that, transport layer. In transport layer, important three concepts. One, that is the message segmentation. Second one, that is the message acknowledgement. And third one, that is the message traffic control. So message segmentation means what? You can directly accept a message from the different layer above it. You can directly split the message into the smaller unit. So these all are the concepts of the message segmentation. Message acknowledgement means what? That providing reliable end-to-end delivery of the data. But here, whatever the end-to-end delivery in a terms of the message delivery with acknowledgement. And last one, that is the message traffic control. So message traffic control, it directly tells the transmitting station to back off when no message buffers are available. So same thing, whatever in a data link layer, that same in a transport layer. After that, another one important layer, that is the session. So session generally focus on the three important parts: session establishment, session maintenance, session termination. And the last one, that is known as a session support. So what's the characteristics behind that? So it directly allow the two application processes or different machine to establish, use and terminate a connection, that is called a session. And the session support means what? So whatever the process, directly providing the communication between them. So after that, one important thing, another one layer, that is the presentation layer. Presentation layer fully focus on first one, character code translation, ASCII to EBCDIC or EBCDIC to ASCII. Second one, data conversion, generally used for the data conversion purpose. The most important thing in a presentation layer, that is known as a data compression. Data compression means you can directly reduce the number of bits that need to be transmitted on a network. And last one, that is the data encryption. So presentation layer focus on the three part important: conversion, compression and encryption. For the OSI, one another layer, that is the application layer. That's the topmost layer in an OSI model. Generally used for resource sharing. One another thing that is used for the remote file access, remote printer access, inter-process communication, that is generally used for the network management with using the SNMP protocol, directory services with using the concept of the FTP, electronic messages with using the concept of the SMTP. So many protocols that is the part of the application layer and network that can be used with the telnet also. So these all are the functionality that is supported by the different protocol in an application layer. So that's all about the concept of the OSI model. Only one topic remaining in this particular session, that is the TCP/IP. So at least you know the name. Again I repeat the name: physical, then after the data link, then after the network, then after the session, transport, presentation, application. After that, last topic of this particular session, that is the TCP/IP model. So what's the similarities between the TCP/IP and OSI model? So must remember one thing: in OSI model that support the 7 layers, but in TCP/IP that support only 5 layers. Again, topmost, that is the application, then after the transport, then after the internet layer, data link layer, and physical network. So whatever the physical layer, that is known as a physical network layer, data link layer, that known as a data link layer, network layer, that known as a internet layer. So here you just see the diagram. From this particular diagram, the OSI model. First one, that is the physical. Second one, that is the data link. Third one, that is the network. Fourth one, that is the transport. Fifth one, that is the session. Sixth one, that is the presentation. And seventh one, that is the application. What's the concept behind the TCP/IP model? Here you just see. First one, that is the network access. Second one, that is the internet. Then after the transport, and then after the application. So according to the last slide, 5 layers, but whenever you talk about the TCP/IP model, that fully focus on the 4 layers. So that's all about the today's session. In this particular session, first one, the most important point, that is the difference between connection oriented and connection less environment. Second one, that is known as the concept of the OSI model, list out OSI model, and then after the functionality of each and every layer of the OSI model. Point number 3, that is the TCP/IP model. Then after we talk about the difference between TCP/IP model and OSI model according to the diagram. So that's all about the today's session. Thank you for watching.